What's good, GATV fam? It's your boy Gravitating Away, and I'm back with a serious one. Let's dive right deep into it, man. So recently, there was a performance, multiple performances, and a stage present for the 2023 Essence Festival. And overlapping with this Essence Festival was also the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And your girl, Irie, somebody I really used to love listening to coming up, not to go down that rabbit hole, but Irie came out and spoke the truth, man. She received many backlash, outrage against speaking the truth, because only our community that you're not allowed to speak your opinion. And it's funny, right? Irie is one of these so-called feminists. And now she's speaking out about a lot of the behaviors that women like her allowed to be propelled and exist today. Speaking about sexual liberation. Yes, she was a conscious woman, but she didn't see the seeds that she sowed, man. So nonetheless, no matter what part she has to play in all of this, she spoke the truth in context about the Essence Festival promoting repulsive behavior. You got Monae pulling out titties, Megan Thee Stallion doing best as she does with her talented self, showing her ass as usual, then bringing up fans on the stage to just twerk. It just looked like a bag of Fritos. You know, the chip that nobody wanted in them big bags, nobody chose the Fritos. Like, just that entire stage looked like stankness, man. I just seen fumes, green fumes coming off in the air. But long story short, there was children there, executive, all sets of professionals. And the Essence was like kind of one of the last bit of fabrics of classiness we had in terms of entertainment. That's out the door now. But there was a host of many performers, male counterparts, female counterparts dealing with hip hop, R&B, etc. And leave it to the two degenerates that I have known for a while, and with Monae being as of recent, because she's going through some type of midlife crisis, y'all. That woman is going through a midlife crisis. I mean, she was this ultra super liberated woman, but she was never this extensive in terms of showing body. But she's 37 years old. Meg, while not a child, she's still young, and I don't just call her degenerate behavior only self-sabotaging. Most of these women push her forward with this crap. They kind of empower her to be this woman. And say, back in the days, we called out, BS. It's like all y'all have now is a one-trick pony out of your bag of tricks. There's no real talent. So all she does is twerk because that supposedly makes up for her lack of talent. But moving forward, Irie called all of this out. She basically called out, Essence organizers putting this together, knowing what these women were about, especially Monae as of late. And you had children and their parents and executives, etc. A lot of people just started walking out. Now, we're not going to argue about what's right and wrong when it comes to what adults are doing. But the idea of something called the Essence Festival is a joke to me, because I don't subscribe to calling anything about black culture as we see it today of essence in terms of classiness. This is the behavior. But surprisingly, amongst all the backlash against Irie, I was watching something one of my subscribers sent to me, and it's from the Fox show. It's TGIF on Fox Soul, right? And I don't check out Fox Soul for a lot of reasons, because I think they're a part of the problems. They're quiet about a lot of the degenerate behavior that these females, these broads are doing out there, contaminating the minds of our seeds out here. And I say the same thing about the brothers engaging in same-sex behavior. But we're talking about this subject. To my surprise, the panelist on Fox Soul actually was on the side of truth. And anytime you're on the side of truth, I could rock with that segment. Not you in general, because I know you're a part of the problem, but I can rock with that segment. So let's go ahead and play it and y'all see what I'm talking about.
Megan's Hot Girl boot camp that took place at the Essence Festival. India wrote, "The issue is, what is context? Humanity does everything." She added, "So when we as a culture make something like this mainstream, it shows lack of discretion and discernment." Do you guys agree? And do you think Megan's performance with the twerking boot camp was appropriate for Essence Fest? Now, you guys were down in this year. Al, what do you think?
See, the thing here is that anybody that's surprised Irie said this don't know her and they don't know her music at all. She did an entire song called Video, which is about stuff like this, and it's about diminishing or sexualizing women. That. She's always been vocal about twerking and sexualizing women. So I understand, and I've also felt what she said. She addressed Megan as well as Janelle and said that, you know, I love them both, but this...
Pay attention to all that tomfoolery in the background. All I see is green fumes of stank, ass crack stank. It's like this is the go-to move for black women in the community. Dress like absolute clowns. Twerk, twerk, twerk. Show me no talent, then cry about feminism and sexual liberation. That equals degenerate behavior. Like, tell me you a 304 without telling me you're a 304. Actually, just tell me you a feminist, and that'll tell me that you're a 304. Straight up. I'm sorry. No more pussyfooting around, no half-stepping. All you women that cry about feminism, this is like a third, fourth wave, extreme wave of it. And it's an excuse to be basically not decent, immoral, repulsive, and be a 304. I'm just gonna call it out straight up, man.
This is just not my style. And I do understand, because we've said this before, the Essence is supposed to be about women's empowerment.
Y'all embarrassing,
Essence
by the way.
It's supposed to be about black excellence. And watching this happen on stage could make somebody watching it, like some people in the audience actually left or turned or booed, because it can be interpreted as sexualizing, as diminishing what Essence Fest is supposed to represent as a brand.
I feel you on that. Q, what you think?
You know,
now he's about to surprise me because, you know, he's a part of that community, you know, if you know, you know. So I thought, you know, because I've seen him in the past kind of capitulate towards, you know, the get along gang. You know, when you're speaking on the truth, you know, people rather you just be a part of the get along gang and hush up and just go with the flow. He was somewhat one of those, but Mr. Funky Dineva, to my surprise, spoke truth to power.
I get so confused at times. My gut response is that this new younger generation is just so fucked up and stupid, right? And I got in an argument with some.
The young generation learned from somewhere, brother. I'm so sick of y'all saying that. You know, even my peers and people before us, you know, you dropped the game. We dropped the game down here, not me, myself. I was never a part of this BS, I'm telling y'all. But the people that are in my peer group, 30s and up, 40s and up, 50s and ups, etc., y'all pass this shit down. Female sexual liberation has been a talking point in black communities for about 4, 5, 6 decades. You know, these white libs, female white libs, pass you that torch. While they preach about feminism, their houses are in order. But you black women took this to another level.
Somebody on social media who was trying to be a hotel and trying to be so deep and talking about, you know, every other culture have their dancing and stuff, and that's just part of our culture. No, it is not. And they tried to say to me, if an Indian person got on stage and did a dance, would you be coming at them? Well, the difference between what we do and other people's cultural dances is that they're not sexualized. So no, I would not have an issue with the Native American getting on stage doing what it is they do, or the Chinese people doing backflips or Cirque du Soleil. But it's just like Claudia likes to say, we are on a race to the bottom, and then y'all try to conflate things. Y'all, then when you don't like what we're saying about the behavior, then it becomes we're policing women's bodies, stay out of women's business, sexual liberation.
You hear that? Go along, get along, gang. We're not allowed to speak anything. We can do as we please, no matter how far to the bottom we've fallen. We can just keep it on and keep it on going.
I mean, just at what point is slanging dope, hoeing, and club culture are we going to begin to detach from that, y'all, and kind of get back to a 90s different world kind of feel when it comes to our mainstream black culture?
let me speak on this. To his point, what he's speaking on, yes, ladies, yes, brothers, look, this ain't no first rodeo when it comes to sexualization in the black community and promiscuity and how it was displayed. There was, of course, that was going on in the 90s and the early 2000s, but you know also what was going on? There was a balance. There was other acts, if you will, other genres, other type performances, gimmicks, whatever you want to call it. There was a balance. When you had the consciousness, you had some perversion. It wasn't like this where it's like the only way to be put on is be half naked, talk about drilling and killing. It's like it's on a one race and lane to destruction. There's no balance. There's no feeling of hope, honestly. It's like we need a reset, man. Y'all could hold on to this and keep hoping, but I'm telling you, you need a reset. This shit is out of order. It's like nothing I've ever seen before, and I mark my words. You guys can worry about the young people engaging in this or not, but there's a lot of people 40, 50 and up pushing for this crap because they don't speak out against it. As a matter of fact, if you are around my age in your 30s and up and you speak on this stuff, it's not the younger folks that really come against you the most. It's the older folks. It's like they're still trying to be a part of the cool club. They never grew up. They push this agenda because they don't speak out against it. So now other people are watching this and like, damn, man, I'm gonna get eaten up if I speak on this. I'm gonna just hush up and not say nothing. But folks, people gotta step up and talk about it. But I'm under the inclination that we need an entire reset. I'm sorry.
This needs to be niched. And the more classy, more uplifting stuff needs to be mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
I friggin' agree. And I know people will say you old.
I'm just gonna tell y'all the honest truth. I'm gonna forward through Claudia Jordan's part. I'm gonna have a link on the bottom. If you want to feel free to check her out, you can. But Claudia was a part of the problem for the longest. She was the main one out here pushing out the narrative that Meg, you know, is this once in a lifetime talent. She ignored Meg's promiscuous behavior and how she carried herself. She even dressed it up as empowerment for black women. So I don't really have time to listen to stuff like that. You can call me whatever you want, but I promise you, I'm not being sexist. This woman right here cherry-picked Meg, and till this day was pushing Meg as someone that can do no wrong. And now the only reason she's speaking out against it, because you have the likes of an Irie coming out. Then her two male panelists in Al and Funky Deneva was against it. So she read the room and she knew this, which lane to pick. So no, I don't want to hear her disingenuous self. When just the other day you was pushing Meg like, yes, girl, yeah, twerking as a one-trick pony out here. Nah, man.
And you're not relevant, or you're not, well, you can never say that because I've been for 20 years. But I, as a woman, I'm going to say it.
Before I read the comment, I'm going to say D. Torres, 1989, I love you, but...
This is Funky Deneva about to counter-react to a brother who was commenting on their show and their take, and he was basically getting on them about, like, just let them have fun. Because, you know, black people, nah, let's never talk about anything. Let's go ahead and push degenerate behavior, you know. Nah, we're just having fun. Who cares how this look? Who cares how it affects the young? Our image, pushing stereotypes. Who cares? Let's just have fun. So the brother, D. Torres, commented on their show and said, just let them have fun. And this is Funky Deneva combating that statement.
It's people like you that annoy me. Let the people have fun, damn. So like degrading ourselves is fun. And I've said this before all the time. We are the only culture that equates ignorance with fun.
Right.
What
You cooking
is
today,
fun
boy.
about that?
Yo, he's talking today. Now, I only wish you could stay on this path. I don't really plan on checking out y'all broadcast anytime soon because I feel like y'all part of the problem. But, you know, God was in your soul today, brother, to speak on it. Sorry.
And to D. Torres, do you not feel ashamed or out of place that no other subset of human beings get on an entertainment platform and bend over and show the world? We're the only ones that do that.
And if you want to go to the historical...
Now, like I said, I'm going to have the link on the bottom, y'all, and y'all can check it out. But another broadcasting show that I didn't want to check out at all is Roland Martin's, whatever he calls that whole thing, Unwind or whatever with Roland. But I want to show you guys something when I say it's the older ones that push this narrative and keep these women feeling comfortable being 304s out here. Being 304s out here, never getting backlash. It's like shame in our community is something of the past. It doesn't exist. And you're gonna hear this grown-ass woman while trying to talk on both sides of her mouth. You can tell which side she's leaning for, and it's not the upliftment of black excellence.
Is it a midlife crisis? Then many folks said, really, Luke? You of all people saying this here? All right, let's get into it. Niambe, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on what India Irie is saying here in terms of what was presented on that stage.
Well, look, I mean, people have their opinions. I mean, everybody's going to feel differently. I think Essence knew full well what they were doing when they invited Janelle Monae, whose breasts are freely shown on her album that's out right now.
Once again, not an excuse to display that on a stage when an album cover can't be correlated to actually performing on a stage that's deemed to be so-called black excellence. The Essence festivals like portraying and parading around their brand as black excellence. It's not the same, homegirl.
And Megan Thee Stallion, whose music has always been very explicit and very adult. So they knew what they were booking. I think, you know, her point about context, I think, can be made about lots of things. Because Juvenile was also performing Back That Ass.
And this is the part I gotta pause. You notice the backtracking that she's doing. Accountability, I know this pertains to some brothers too, but definitely with most of our sisters, accountability is non-existence. Notice what she does. She capitulates towards what the males were doing. And here's my take on the males. Yes, there were male performers on that stage of Essence at the festival that one could deem help perpetrate all this behavior that's going on that's, you know, very negative to our image, very stereotypical. But here's the difference. You guys are going left, right, up, down. We're just talking about the performances at the so-called Essence Festival, which, you know, supposedly is black excellence. But the brothers were not half naked. You can argue about the words they chose to use. They're not half naked. They're not doing sexual behavior. Notice that. Notice that. Any excuse to continue 304-like behaviors. Man, you broads for the streets, straight up. And I'm not talking about the younger ones. I'm talking about all of these old women like her. All of these old women, they're the ones continuing this nonsense. Instead of being the one that's the adult in the room, the mature one person that understand logic, understand what India Irie was talking about, lamenting on. Instead, she chose the, you know, it's like one of these people, right? You're getting on them about certain behaviors. Well, what about the boys? They're doing it too. And honestly, ma'am, no, they were not half naked. They were not showing titties. They were not twerking and gyrating on the stage the way Meg and Janelle Monae was. This is unbelievable.
Up at this same Essence. And so I'm always interested when women become the sort of targets for critiques about sexuality and over-sexualization. Now, I don't think India...
Tell me you a feminist without telling me you a feminist. Come on now.
Irie was attempting to call out those two women in particular, but I think perhaps she feels like people like my mother feel, or people like my aunties feel, who feel...
I can't, honestly. I'm stopping here. There's also a link for it at the bottom. People, this is the point. We can't grow, especially when we're just wagging our fingers at the young folks, but you're forgetting old broads like this woman over here. Let me put this back up. Old broads like her, who damn near looks 50 years old, possibly, or damn near that age, but she's capitulating to what about the men instead of staying on the subject. I'm telling you, man, we need a reset button, yo. This was gravitating away. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever y'all do, keep coming back. I'm not here to hurt my people or just talk down on us, but damn it, sooner or later, some of you got to sit y'all black asses down and hear the truth, man. Accept the truth. That's the only way we're going to change. But we definitely can't listen to broads like this, y'all. I'm out, man.
If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the Renault Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice, they told me that less is simple.